Hi everyone, Katie here. Today I want to kind of take you through a full makeup routine for kind of that polished professional look. Okay, so we're talking about those days when you're working that 9 to 5, when you just kind of want to appear a little more professional, a little more in charge, leaderish, that kind of a thing. And I know that can be tricky, and it depends completely on where you're working and kind of what their grounds are, because oftentimes those that you're working for will set the standards. And so I'm just going to kind of take you through one of the simple, easy looks and give you some tips along the way. Now, mind you, this isn't the only professional look you could do, but here's one that you can kind of achieve with our products. So, first off, I have already used my toner, my moisturizer, my primer, and my eye primer. Okay, those are all on already. So, because of course that's the base to any good makeup routine. Okay, so then I'm going to start with my brows, and I'm going to use both the brow gel and the brow pencil. For some of you that have some of those more filled in brows, see mine are really kind of sparse. For those of you that have them that are more filled in, you wouldn't necessarily have to do the liner, but I am going to along with the gel, because the gel just doesn't quite fill in enough for me. I mean, it still does a pretty good job, but just not quite all the way there. So, and I go between the light and the medium on these colors. I am actually using the medium today, just because I think it gives kind of that more defined appearance. So I'm going to take my pen, and now mind you, this isn't something that I want to make look overly dramatic. So I am just going to kind of, and I apologize, I'm using my camera as the mirror, fill in a little bit as we go along. See, just those short little strokes. Nothing, I'm not outlining, I'm not doing any of that, just those kind of short little strokes. Okay, that's it. And we'll do the same over here. I'm just kind of going along the natural curve of my brow. All right, eyes done. Eyebrows done. Sorry, not eyes completely. Then I'm going to go to my mascara, and I actually am not going to put the fibers on. If you have short lashes, you kind of can, but it's kind of scoring against having those clear up to here lashes, kind of overdone fake lash look. They want something a little more natural, usually in the workplace. So I am just going to put on the gel. And I'm going to put this on the top and the bottom. Of my lashes, because that helps bring volume without bringing length. So they're still going to appear nice and full and thick, and you can see how messy I get with my lashes, I tell you. And then we'll go to the bottom. And do that same thing. We'll just come back up here. Ah! Good thing I have that primer on. Because that just takes it right off. All right. And then of course, if you have any little clumpies or anything, you can kind of get those out of the way with your lash comb if you need to. And I apologize because I'm totally using this phone. And just do the same thing on the other side. Get that hair out of the way. All right. Then I am going to go on to my eye makeup itself, and you kind of want something a little more kind of subdued. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear the whistling, the wind is going nuts out here. So you want something a little more subdued, a little more natural. Because of what I'm wearing today, I'm going to use Addiction Palette 3, okay? And I'm gonna stick more to this lighter end with the exception of the eyeliner. I am actually going to use this liner brush because it allows me to get this really precise thin line over here with the Irate. So I am going to do a color called Tickled, kind of right on the inside here, kind of all over my bottom. Same thing over here. Remember, a little bit goes a long way, especially when you're using that primer. Okay, so you can see how just kind of that color just kind of peeks out a little bit. That's kind of what we want it to do. Just kind of give that little impression that that color's there, but not overwhelmingly so. Alright, then I am actually using the liner shader brush. I just used the shader side for that color, but I'm going to use the liner side and get just a little bit of that on there to line this. And look at what an awesome job this does. And I like using this as well because it kind of can smoke it out a little bit. Like kind of, it doesn't have necessarily that sharp line. It gives it a little more of that blended appearance. All right. Now, sorry, got to touch up there a little bit. Okay, and that is why we also do eye makeup before we do our foundation. All right, so then I'm gonna go in the crease and I'm gonna take my crease brush and I am actually going to use this color called Flippant. It's still pretty neutral, it's still pretty light. We're just gonna go lightly in the crease here with that, just to add some depth, another color, another layer, okay? But notice it's still not dramatic, outrageous, that kind of a thing. Love this color. Okay, and then we're gonna finish it off. I'm gonna kind of dust off my brush and I'm just gonna finish it off with a combination of this Determined and Smitten up top. The Smitten tends to have some shimmer to it, so I like to kind of tame it down a little bit with some of that Determined for right up here, just to kind of finish off that look. because generally you don't want a ton of eye makeup. You don't want it standing out a whole lot for the workplace. All right, so now eyes are done. Love this look. Okay. And actually, I forgot one thing. Blend. All right, so I'm just going to take and kind of blend all of this. And right along where that liner is, I'm just going to take the shader side and just kind of go back and forth just to kind of smudge it that little bit that we talked about. And then we'll go and blend this. No harsh lines here. Okay, now we are ready for face. For my foundation, I am using actually Taffeta today. It is real close to my natural skin tone. The Office Place isn't some place you really want to try and up your tan look by going like a shade darker with your foundation. So I would choose one that is most close to your natural skin color. And mine happens to be Taffeta right now. So I'm just putting the liquid foundation on my liquid foundation brush. And we'll do my little tap taps and start blending. Sure, make that eye nice. That eye line, the corner eye line, get that really kind of straightened out. I love this brush because it can get into these fine spaces without like completely destroying the look. It's kind of awesome that way. All right, and make sure you always blend down. So I'm just kind of blending down to even that out. Make sure I'm getting everywhere. All right. Then this does have kind of that matte finish, but I like to add just a subtle layer. So I take my big powder puff brush, and I'm using the same color. I'm using Taffeta. And today I don't have a whole lot of those under eye circles, so I'm not going to put any concealer on. However, concealer is a great way to kind of brighten up under your eyes if you need it and hide those circles. So keep that in mind, and that's perfectly acceptable for the workplace. All right, so now I've got that powder on. Then I want to stick to more of kind of a neutral lip, or like a softer lip. So I am going to use the Pouty lip liner and just kind of line this. And then I'm going to use a color called Affluent. See, it's got just that hint of color without being overwhelming. And I love these lipsticks. I tell you what, they're so creamy and smooth. All right, so voila, polished professional look. And actually it would take me about 10 minutes if I wasn't explaining it to you guys. So there you go. You can go from wake up to makeup in about 10 minutes and have that polished professional look. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me. I'd be happy to answer those. But thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, bye-bye.